Doodle. Alright, here we've got a fun kids soccer game called Shipwrecked with Sharks. And this is from my course, How to Coach Kids Soccer, ages 5 to 10. Now, the setup here is a square, and then you put some cones in the corners to make 4 corners. Okay, every player has a ball except for 2 players in the middle, and these are the Sharks. So we've got islands here. The players are shipwrecked on these islands, and they've got to swim, for example, i.e. a dribble, their way across to another island without getting tagged, eaten by a shark. All right, so, and at the end they count up how many islands they get to, and whoever got the most is the winner. So I think we'll hit play, and then I'll take you through. That was just a rough overview. I'll take you through a detailed description of how it works, and it'll make a bit more sense to you. So here we go with the video. So we'll just pause it there. Yep, so that's the setup. So you've got all the players in the corners on their islands, ball each, 2 sharks in the middle. And here they go. Now, sorry to stop that again, but just to clarify, you can either play it 2 ways. You can play it that the sharks have to just tag the player, so just touch them on the shoulder, and then they become a shark. Or you can play that the sharks have to kick their ball out of the square, and then the players become a shark. So what will happen here, the 2 yellow players start. If 15 kicks 7's ball out, they will become a shark. So then there'll be 3 sharks, like the old game of British Bulldog. So if their ball gets kicked away, or if they get tagged, whichever way you want to play it, they become a shark. So eventually there's 1 player left trying to get to an island with all the other sharks in the middle there. So it's a bit of fun. And as I said earlier, players are trying to get to as many islands as they can, so that a player just can't sit on an island and wait till the end. So if they only get to 1 island, they won't win. Right, so let's play it. It goes pretty quickly here, so I might have to replay it for you. But all right. So 11's gone for 6, kicked 6's ball out, so they become a shark as well. 7's kicked 4's ball out, so they're a shark. 4 kicks 8's ball out, so there's a whole lot of sharks in there. Well, 3's the lucky last. Boom, gets the ball kicked out. So depending, and then you ask the players how many islands they got to. So I'll just give you a quick replay there. All right, so 2 sharks initially, then it becomes 3, until eventually everybody's a shark, and they've got to try and dribble, get to as many islands as they can. Now the key to this one is you want players keeping their head up, and you want some close control. So we'll go through, here we go, set up a square, small squares marked out in each of the corners. So these are the safe islands. In this game, players are shipwrecked, and they have to get to another island without the sharks in the middle eating them. Pick 2 players to be sharks, and the rest are on the islands with a ball each. And depending on how many players you've got, that can be 1 shark. When the coach says go, players try to dribble from island to island without getting eaten by a shark. And as I said, that can either be tagged, or you can make the rules that their ball has to be kicked out. If the player gets tagged, they leave their ball and they become a shark. Get the players to count how many islands they got to, and see who got the most after the last player gets eaten. Then pick some new sharks and start again. Let's see what else we've got here. So progression. Make the islands bigger or smaller depending on skill level. So if you've just got some new players, maybe make the islands a bit bigger so they don't have as far to dribble, and so that they can stop their ball easier on the island. Only have 1 shark if you don't have many players. So this one works fine. If you've only got 4 or 5 players, that's okay. Just have 1 shark in the middle, and then you've got 4 or 5 players. Or the coach can be the shark. Or if there's a parent standing around, get them to come in and start off in the middle. And the third point that I've got there, instead of players joining the other sharks in the middle, you can play it so if a player gets tagged, they just have to do a small punishment. So for example, 10 toe taps, and then they can rejoin the game. Play for 2 minutes and then swap sharks. So you can just play for 2 minutes, see who gets to the most islands, and then swap the 2 players in the middle there. And if I'm right, we should have some coach's notes. Here we go. Scan the area and look for good opportunities to get to the island. So encourage the kids to get off the islands. Make sure that you'll have some shy players there, but make sure you encourage them to go for it. So they should have their head up, looking around the area for a good opportunity to get out into the water. Use quick bursts of speed. So during a game, you'd use a burst of speed to get past a player, and you would also use quick changes of directions to throw the sharks off. So you might give them a demonstration where you pretend to go right, drop the shoulder, and then you go left instead. So basic little things like this they can learn. Keep their heads up when they're out in the water so they can see where the sharks are. Like you would during a game, you're looking around for the defenders. All right. Thank you. So that is Shipwrecked with Sharks.